Thank you very much, Oireachtas. And like yourself, I welcome our witnesses, Mr. Mahon and Mr. O'Connor, to the committee. And it's heartening to hear the positive, upbeat report from the Ombudsman, in that you paint a picture that you're adequately resourced. Mostly when we meet groups, whether it's in the Oireachtas or in our daily work, they always need additional financial resources or whatever. So it's good to hear of one particular office that the people heading it up believe that it's well resourced and properly resourced. And you also paint a picture of a positive interaction with the Department of Defence and with the Defence Forces. And of course that's good from the point of view of dealing with the issues that need to be dealt with. So it does. Could I just say, like Deputy Buckley, I commend the Women of Honour group, the great work they did, and highlighting those particular very serious issues. We had the opportunity to speak on those issues in the Dáil on a number of occasions, and I again commend that work. And it was very important that those issues would be addressed. With regard to the type of issues that come to your attention, and you paint a picture there of the Minister or the Department accepting, I think it's 96% of the recommendations you make. I presume that's a high category, that's a high percentage in any governance between ombuds people and government departments and ministers. Could I ask, some years ago as a member of the then Foreign Affairs and Defence Oireachtas Committee, I visited a number of barracks. And I would be very familiar, as my colleague Senator Joe Flaherty would be. He represents Loughlin Westmeath, I represent Cavan Monaghan. So over the years we had a strong military tradition. We had barracks in Monaghan and Dooney Nail and Cavan, which unfortunately are no longer open. But I would be very familiar with the work of our permanent defence forces over the years and the great work they've done at home and abroad, representing our country with great distinction. But one thing that was annoying to me and to others as well was in some barracks the poor level of living accommodation. Now, it's an issue that I'd like to know, has it come to your attention? Because if we're talking and we need to recruit more personnel to our permanent defence forces, we need to have a better retention level as well. And on those visits, now not everywhere, but in some of the barracks, the living accommodation for young adults, both female and male, was not just good enough. By and large, people nowadays live in reasonably good accommodation. A lot of people live in very good accommodation. People are used to good standards when they're leaving home to go off on a career path. It wouldn't encourage you with the type of accommodation that was provided in some of the barracks. So, I sincerely believe that proper accommodation should be provided for people who are serving our state and representing us. And I know that in the past few years, with Micheál Martin as Minister for Defence and with Simon Harris as Minister for Defence now, there is substantial capital investment ongoing, and I'm sure there's need for more. But has the issue of inadequate accommodation come to your attention by serving members? Thank you, Oireachtas.
Thank you.
No, I don't think we've had one. I had one case where the numbers for a course were determined by the accommodation for male and female personnel, because they were staying in the barracks for a week, and because they were because the section for the women personnel was much less used, because there were very few women personnel engaged in this particular course. So they had rooms that were free, and I think there was a complaint about the fact that some male contenders for this course were deprived of the opportunity because there was no overnight accommodation for them. So that's the closest we've got, and that wasn't a complaint about the accommodation. It was a complaint about the fact that more could have been done to divide up the accommodation so as more male personnel could have participated in the course. Because a lot of these courses would have a ceiling of
participants.
That could actually participate in the course. But no, I mean, the somewhat long-winded answer to your question is we've had no complaints about the accommodation, either the lack of it or the state of it.
Sure. Thank you. Kylie, just one further question regarding courses. Sometimes there is a considerable delay in young privates getting on to particular courses. Does that arise in your work?
Oh yeah, I mean course selection would be involved in a lot of the complaints that we would get. In the sense that it would be more to do that somebody feels they should have got a place, but they didn't get a place. So because there's a huge emphasis in the Defence Forces on courses and doing courses and getting qualifications, and because that all, of course, is linked in with promotion and so on.
Sure. Thank you, Oireachtas.